Today we look at the two federal indictments for Cardi B's BFF Star Brim, and we look at Cardi B's actual charges in New York State Court. Together they're facing about 80 years in prison. Welcome to Hood Law. My name is Nate, former prosecutor, law enforcement officer, and law school lecturer, and welcome to Hood Law. Now, this is a show about the law and how it affects the hood. Today, we're going to look at the federal indictments of Star Brim, the alleged godmother of the 5'9" Brims. Now, who is Star Brim? Quick recap.
Cardi B's best friend is facing charges tonight in a sweeping gang roundup. Star Brim, whose real name is Yannette Respass, was indicted on racketeering and assault charges. They say she was the highest-ranking woman in the 5'9" Brims gang. That's a subset of the Blood street gang. She's also accused of putting out a hit on a bartender she thought was having an affair with Cardi B's husband, Offset. In recent years, Brim has become a bit of a social media celebrity with nearly 1 million followers on Instagram. She also appears on Cardi's account regularly.
So today, let's look at the facts and allegations that the government has put forward, and we're also going to look at Cardi B's 12 charges, which could get her about a decade in prison. Star Brim has been indicted in both the Southern District of New York, that covers the Bronx and Manhattan, and the Eastern District of New York, which covers Brooklyn, Queens, and Staten Island. Both of Star Brim's indictments are RICO indictments. RICO stands for
the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act.
Now, for those of you who don't understand how RICO works, here's a quick lesson. RICO doesn't go after individuals, but it goes after criminal organizations. See, just like any other company, you have groups of people carrying out various tasks. And you have people doing things like payroll and HR, and all of them are working in furtherance of the organization. Now, some people are motivated by their paycheck, and other people are motivated to move up in the company. For example, I worked in the DA's office. Now, I was a prosecutor, but we also had an HR department. Now, I didn't know what they did in the HR, and they didn't know what I did at my job. But we were all working together to further the goals of the DA's office. Now, in a corrupt organization, it's the exact same thing. You have some people working in prostitution, some people working in selling drugs, some people working in recruitment, but all of those people are working to further the organization. Now, this could be either your conventional street gang, like the Blood street gang, or this could be like the mafia. Now, what RICO does is it allows the government to hold everyone involved in a criminal organization accountable for the crimes committed in furthering that organization, from the people selling drugs to the people doing the recruiting. Now, even if the defendant is not aware of the other crimes being committed on behalf of the organization, they can still be held accountable. Now, because the government has to prove a defendant is part of a criminal organization for RICO to apply, it's extremely foolish to admit that you're involved in a criminal organization.
What does Star Brim mean?
It means my name is Star and I'm blood. So that's
wow.
What it means.
Okay, I didn't know.
Oh, that's right. The star is the sign for.
Brim is the set I'm in.
But Cardi did indeed tweet that she's actually Brim Blood, which amazingly isn't the name of one of Harry Potter's professors.
Brim, not Nine Trey. I've never been Nine Trey or associated with them.
So now let's talk about the timeline of events with Star Brim and Cardi B. So again, these are allegations. Federal prosecutors and state prosecutors allege that on October 15, 2018, members of the 5'9" Brims carried out a violent assault against bartenders at the Angel Strip Club in Flushing, Queens. Now, prosecutors allege that they carried this out because these two women didn't show the proper respect to another member of the gang. Now, most news reports will tell you that one of these women, one of these bartenders, was alleged to have slept with Cardi B's husband, Offset. Now, Star Brim, who was serving a federal prison sentence at the time, commissioned the younger members of the Blood Street gang, and she called them drops. And she said to, quote, pop that bottle on the bartenders, stating that I want hands put on them. I don't even want no talking. Now, that night, defendants Jeffrey Bush, Louis Love, Rodolfo Zambrano, and 3 of Respass's drops met at Angel, where they lured one of the bartenders across the bar, and while holding her by the hair, they began to beat her and throw bottles at her. Now, Bush recorded the assault on cell phone video, and the video was sent to other gang members on behalf of Respass, who allegedly ordered the attack. Respass is Star Brim. And again, this was all allegedly because one of these bartenders was sleeping with Cardi B's husband. So Star Brim was charged with conspiracy to commit assault in the aid of racketeering, and this was in the Eastern District of New York. And for that charge, she is facing 20 years in prison. So 2 weeks after that, Cardi B went to the same strip club, and then she allegedly ordered the bartenders to be beaten again. Now, Cardi B's next court date is March 19th, 2020 in Queens. Now, Cardi is facing 12 counts. And on top of that, she can face up to a decade in prison if found guilty on all counts. Now, all of those incidents happened in the Eastern District of New York. Now, gotta fast forward 1 year later to the Southern District of New York. Now, on August 8th, 2019, why do they love to do this stuff in August? Jamar Simmons, Albert Shoulders, Sylvester Went, and Star Brim maimed and assaulted an individual with a dangerous weapon and aided and abetted the same by slashing the individual in the face. Now, Star Brim and her accomplices slashed the individual in part to maintain their increased position in the 5'9" Brims racketeering enterprise operating in the Southern District of New York. So the Southern District indicted Star Brim on 1 count of conspiracy to commit racketeering, which she can face up to 20 years in prison. The second count is maiming and assault in the aid of racketeering, and she is facing 30 years in prison. So at the end of the day, Star Brim is facing 70 years in prison, and Cardi B is facing about 10 years in prison on state charges. So now you know what's up. Like what you heard, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment, let me know what you think, share this video, help me grow. Again, my name is Nate, lawyer, YouTuber, and as always, I just hooked you up.